case that the Capital One Bank is pursuing on this, you know already is a credit card agreement from some time back.
Yes, ma'am.
You don't dispute that you owe the money, correct? You've just fallen on some difficult situations?
Well, no, I do dispute some charges of late charges that they tried to hit me with, and then also with interest rates. They jacked it up like three or four times on me. So, in my opinion, yes, I do owe some money to them, but I don't feel I owe all the money that they're trying to get me for. And I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with, settling for a portion of what to pay, and I'll pay it. I can't pay it all at once, but I could do monthly installments or whatever. But I don't have a dispute with that. But my dispute is numerous times they were contacted about late fees that they charged that shouldn't have been done. Also interest rates that were jacked up on me.
What would be the reason if you're late that they can't charge a late fee?
Well, we weren't late. So
if you were never late, how would you owe any money right now?
Well, because I quit paying the credit card.
Right, but
I did.
That's where the fees start adding up. This thing gets to be like ching, 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 because if you don't pay the balance, you're paying more and more and more as it goes. Like right now, if there's any monies owed right now, they have a right to charge late fees and interest.
Okay.
So I'm just wondering, if you say you were on time all the time, how did it get to be a lawsuit?
Well, I didn't really pay the bill. My wife does, and according to her, they were all paid on time. But this is sort of a little bit of a interesting situation because I'm not absolutely positive what was owed on it. And then when I was contacted, by a who is it? It was some girl that was representing Capital One. I had told her, she had contacted me. I told her that I could probably pay $100 a month, but then she insisted that wasn't enough. And next thing I know,
and would that be a person that like works for Capital One? You mean some lady on the phone?
I think it was, because I don't recall her name. I don't recall her name, so it was a while back. But she had contacted me, and I told her that she said the account would be froze, that there'd be no more charges on it or anything like that, is what she told me. And that was a year or two ago, or a year and a half ago, or I'm not sure. But
right.
So I can make. Hey, I can make I told her I could make $100 a month payment. We were in hard times for a while, and things are getting back to normal now. But
to be honest, Mr. Cole, the lady that you were talking to on the phone probably didn't have the authority. I don't know this for sure, but she probably didn't have the authority to make a payment agreement with you, like $100 a month or whatever. Let me check with this attorney that's just zooming in with us right now. He might have some involvement in this case. I'm not sure. Mr. Cox, Can you hear me? Attorney Keith Cox, can you hear me?
I can, Your Honor.
Are you representing Capital One with the case with Mark Cole? It's not set till 9:15.
I am not, Your Honor. I'm actually appearing on a matter of the MEA versus Susan Anderson.
Oh, okay, different case altogether. Give me a second then. I'll be right back with you.
Very good.
Mr. Cole, I don't want to make you wait another half hour if you don't want to. And I'll tell the attorney that calls in what you've said, that you have questions about the interest rate and that you have questions about the late fee. I'm anticipating, because what they're asking for is they're asking for a decision, and they're asking for a little over $4,600. That's what they claim it is. Are you still listening to me, Mr. Cole?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. They're asking for a little bit over $4,600. But I'll tell that attorney, that you question some of the rates, the interest, the late fees. And if you guys talk separately, I don't have a problem with you guys talking, but I don't get involved personally as the judge. I don't get involved as to working out an agreement that you guys are going to have. You guys got to do that yourself.
Okay.
But if you can't, wait around till 9:15, what's going to happen is a judgment is going to enter against you for that amount, and then you're going to have to work out a payment plan, and you can file a motion with the court to ask for, if you think 100 a month is it, or 200 a month, or something that's not going to sink your ship, because you don't want to get into a payment plan you can't keep.
Right.
But if you're going to talk to them about, are they willing to reduce it at all? Are they willing to negotiate with you? That's got to be between you and that person. So I can give
So
you,
be-
go ahead.
I'm sorry. So that's between me and whoever this person is. What was his name again?
The name
attorney?
that we have is Dan Best. Dan
Yep.
Best.
Yep.
B-E-S-T.
I got it.
And do you
Yep,
have that number out of Troy?
Yeah, I think it's 248-362-6100.
Right.
Okay.
And then also,
So-
how would we get your number?
How would you get my number?
Your telephone number out of Rockford. Are you still living on Grange?
Yes, but my cell phone number is the only phone number I have, which is 616
Uh-huh.
318
Uh-huh.
5659.
Can I give that number to that attorney if you're not on the
Sure.
line?
Yeah.
Because all I want him to do is get a hold of you and you guys work out an agreement.
Yeah, I mean, I can do that with him as long as he doesn't stick me with the 4600. But
Yeah,
I
I don't know what he's gonna say.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I
When,
can talk to him.
if you're still home or wherever you're calling me from, if you're still home or where you are, call me at 9:15. But if you can't, I'll just try to repeat what you've said to me, to him.
I'm at home. What time is it now?
It's 5 to 9.
Okay, I'll just
I know
wait.
you gotta, okay, that's fine. That's fine.
I mean, I'll.
Okay, I got a couple others. That's fine.
Okay.
All right, thank you. All right.
Yep.
Ms. Ball, can you hear me? Melissa Ball? Ms. Ball, can you hear me? Okay, Mr. Cox, Attorney Cox, are you still there?
I am, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. This is on file D19C06645GC. It's the plaintiff's motion for summary disposition. Is anyone appearing for Susan Anderson? It doesn't look like anyone called in for Susan Anderson. Have you had any connection with her, Mr.
Judge-
Cox?
Judge, a couple weeks ago, she sent us a note where she made a settlement offer, and my clients agreed to accept it. It appears to be a lump sum offer, but we've been unable to reach a telephone number for her. I'm
sorry, was that, Mr. Cox, was that last part you just said that you don't have a telephone number?
correct.
Oh.
Does the court have a telephone for her? Because
I'm
we
not
couldn't
seeing
find.
one right now.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing one right now, but I'll be honest with you. I don't like the idea of going forward, granting the motion for summary disposition when she may believe there's a settlement offer accepted. Although I'd
I
want
was
to put a
gonna-
time.
Yeah, I was going to recommend adjourn it, Judge. I'd like to see if it's possible to get the money from her before taking, proceeding with the motion. I do note
Well,
that she
right,
was,
because it's probably going to be a conditional dismissal of some sort if you settle.
yeah,
We'll try to figure out if we have a phone number for her. That's what I'd like to check with, and then
Yeah.
see if there's a way we can get a hold of her. Okay?
so you want me to hold on then, Judge, or?
Yep, we're just gonna adjourn it and put it out and see where we're at.
Okay, we'll look for a new notice, Your Honor, then.
Find out if you get any contact with her, let us know.
Okay, appreciate that,
All right,
Judge. We'll
thank
look
you.
for the new notice. Thank you.
Thank you, Is Mr. Allen part of this Zoom right now? Matthew Allen? Okay, Attorney Michael, is it Kirschenheiter?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. How are you?
Good, thank you. What case do you have?
It's Capital One Bank versus Latanya Jara. It's at 9.
Okay, we're a little bit early, so just give me a second, but I'll be right with you on that.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Is Melissa Ball still part of the Zoom? Ms. Ball, B-A-L-L? No. Mr. Allen, can you hear me? You got to unmute yourself with the hat on. Can't hear you, Mr. Allen. Can't hear you. You got to unmute yourself. Yeah, you. Hold on, Mr. Kirschenheiter. I'm doing a little bit of Zoom activity before we get started. Matthew Allen, can you hear me? Yeah, Mr. Allen?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
No, now
Yeah.
we hear you. But
The
listen,
microphone,
okay, you did it. You finally hooked up right, but you're in the wrong Zoom room. You got to meet with the prosecutor, so take a pen and write this number down.
I should have had one on me. Okay, I'm ready.
245 899 6670. And Mr. Allen, you're,
6670.
yes, and it's the same password number that you just zoomed in with me. You don't have to say it because we're on live streaming right now. But just zoom into that other number I just gave you. It's a prosecutor by the name of Felix Tarango. That's who you're meeting with, not me. You're meeting with the prosecutor on your
Okay.
criminal case. So hang up with me and dial that number. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Okay, thanks.
How do I hang up?
Disconnect or, stop video. Leave meeting. There should be a button that says like leave
It
meeting.
doesn't-
Okay. Mr. Sims, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. What case are you on?
I'm here on Discover Bank versus Barnum, Diane
Yep.
Barnum.
Okay. Set for 9 o'clock and we're just waiting to see if anybody else checks in on that.
Sounds good.
Mr. Okay. Mr. Kirschenheiter, for the case with Capital One Bank and Latanya Jara, it's file D19 C06357. Have you or your office had any contact with Ms. Jara?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing?
Nope.
And is Mason the attorney that you're working with?
She's from our office.
Yeah, okay. So when you talk about your motion for reconsideration of a judgment lien,
No, Your Honor, this wasn't our motion. This was defendant's
Right.
motion.
right,
It-
right, it's the
Yeah.
defendant's motion.
Right.
And I'm just wondering, it was a lien on the property or what?
Correct. We filed a judgment lien after obtaining judgment.
Yeah. And then have not been paid on it, the house hasn't been sold or whatever, you just wait forever until the property's sold to get your money?
I believe they're good for 5 years. But
Uh-huh.
yes, it's just it's just something we do in the process to, maintain my client's rights to collect. Obviously, we would love for Ms. Jara to set up some sort of payments and pay it off without her selling her home or anything like that.
Well, she went to the effort of writing this motion and she wrote the letter saying they're in the process of losing their home with 6 children. They said they're being sued by 5 different creditors. They're just at a point where they'd be able to set up some payment arrangements if given
Right.
the opportunity. But she's not part of this meeting and I don't get that. I don't have a phone number for her, so I can't call in
I do not
to
as
see
well.
where she is or what's going on. I don't know whether she files this when she files the motion. She filed it back in February. And of course, we got hit up with, COVID and everything else.
Of course.
I just don't know whether she's forgotten about it or they've already lost the house or what has happened. Of course, see, if the property's been sold, you would have heard about it.
Very most likely, Your Honor. I mean, if she still owed money on a mortgage, we would never see any money anyway. Again, I don't believe her motion is valid. If she was here, I would try to set something up with her, but I don't believe I would be voluntarily releasing the lien at this time anyway.
Yeah, I get that. Well, it looks like in every sense that the lien is proper.
Correct.
The defendant has not appeared on this case today, which makes it really problematic.
Yes, we're here.
Since,
Barnums are here.
yeah, it's not your case yet. I'm not on your case, but
Oh,
thank
sorry.
you. And it would seem if Ms. Jara had filed the motion in February, I mean, a number of things could have occurred between now and February that, like you said, they may have lost the house, but you guys didn't even get paid because there were other creditors first in line. Fair enough?
Right. Sure, certainly.
Yeah. Okay, well, all I'll do is just respectfully deny the motion
Okay.
for reconsideration, noting obvious that Ms. Jara did not appear, has not contacted the court. Mr. Kirschenheiter, if I hear from her, or if you do, I still think there should be some discussion or some talking. If we find out why she wasn't here or didn't connect with the court, I'll get a hold of you. Are you in the same office as Mason?
I am.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your courtesy. I appreciate it, Mr. Kirschenheiter.
Oh, thank you, Your Honor. Have a great day. Stay safe.
All right. Bye-bye. Yes, I get that you're here, Ms. Barnum, and we've got the other party on your case, which is Discover Bank. We're just waiting for 1 second now. The attorney is Wilshire. Hold on 1 second, Ms. Barnum, if you would.
Okay, don't give me that.
Okay, Mr. Sims,
Yes,
on the Discover Bank versus Barnum case, is that the one that you have?
yes,
Can you have video capacity on your equipment?
I do. Yes, it should be working now. Do you see it?
Yes, now it does. It wasn't before.
Yeah, it was
And Ms.
broken up.
Barnum? Yep. And Ms. Barnum, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so it's Diane Barnum, and you're the only defendant in the case representing yourself, and Mr. Sims is representing the Discover Bank. So this is what they call, well, the file is D19C07503GC. I'm Judge Sara Smolenski. I'm at the 63rd District Court at Knapp in the Beltline, and we're handling this motion for summary disposition by Zoom. And the motion for summary disposition is the plaintiff's attempt, Ms. Barnum, to get a judgment against you. They're trying to get a judgment against you for the credit card with Discover Bank. And I'll let Mr. Sims speak what his position is, and then you'll be able to say, Ms. Barnum, what you'd want to say. Okay? Go ahead, Mr. Sims.
Yes, this is plaintiff Discover Bank's motion for summary disposition. Your Honor, we feel that a judgment is warranted via summary disposition based on the fact that the defendant agrees or acknowledges that she opened the card, acknowledges that she used the card, does not dispute the amount that's due, but she does simply claim that there was some third party that was involved that may have caused them to use the card in a certain manner, that they were anticipating some kind of retribution from this group that they used the card for, but that does not involve the issues or the matters related to liability and or her accountability for paying back the amount that's due. So we presented these matters in our motion, and we believe that the judgment is in order.
Is the name on the card only Diane Barnum?
Yes. But Your Honor, My
Hold
husband,
on one second, Ms. Barnum. Hold on one second. I'm almost to you, but I'm asking Mr. Sims. You only sued Diane Barnum, correct?
That's correct.
And there was no other, whether she had a spouse or not, it was just in her name. From your perspective, Mr. Sims, that's
That
why
is
you're
correct.
just suing Diane Barnum? Okay.
Absolutely
All
correct.
right, yep. Ms. Barnum, it's your turn to speak. Go ahead.
Miss Judge, may I have my husband speak to you about this?
No,
No? Okay.
no. Isn't that weird? That's why I was asking why it wasn't husband and wife on the card, but it's only you evidently.
Okay.
And I read everything that you guys sent in about meeting this Farage guy down in Florida.
Yeah.
I'm sure there have been books written about different things that would be as odd as what you guys ran into. I mean, people probably write a book about a story like that because it's almost beyond what you can get your brain to understand how you were taken advantage of, it sounds as if.
Yep. That's true. That's true. I don't know what to
You're
say.
very capable to just say what the position is yourself. I don't mean to say that you
I
couldn't.
I cannot afford to, I get $1,100 a month in Social Security and payments. We are
Right.
retired. I am 77 years old, and
Right,
there is no way I can pay this the way he says. And
right.
we will be glad to pay him if we sell a property, but we don't have the money now. And we propose to pay the maximum payment. All right. He wants payments, but they will not talk to us about smaller payments.
Yeah.
They're
Then
just,
what, the next step that you need to take, Ms. Barnum, is that you'd have to file a motion before the court to set up a payment plan that's gonna work. What we're doing today is we're talking about whether there's gonna be a judgment against you.
okay.
I get that you can't afford to pay it all at once or even a big chunk of it, that if you set up some kind of a payment plan, it would have to be doable, because you don't want your ship to sink, so to speak.
Whoa, that's true.
But, and do you guys have kids?
Well, our children are raised and gone.
Right, they're adults, but do they know anything about this? Have they heard the story about this guy in Florida?
Yes. But they're unable to
Right,
take
I'm not asking for any money from them, I'm just saying sometimes the adult children want to talk to their parents. It's like a role reversal where they start giving you advice.
Yes.
And they start telling you, do this, but don't do that. Don't talk to this guy in Florida. Don't let him come live with you. Don't lend him money. Don't let him use your Visa card. When you talk to people about just trying to give them good advice financially so that a scenario just like this never occurs again.
It will
Because
never occur again.
you can't let something like this happen again. You know what I mean?
I know. I know
Because
that.
it would be a financial, disaster as if this was. I mean, this was a financial disaster.
Terrible disaster.
And,
Still haven't gotten out from under it.
right, I'm sure. And I would talk to an attorney and get advice on how to get out from under it because it's not good. There's no question about it. But here's what I'm saying. At this point in time, not that you want to hear more bad news, but at this point in time, you're stuck owing this money, whether you have the money or not.
Yeah.
They have a right to try to collect it from you. They can't take it from your Social Security, but they have other avenues of trying to collect it. If you have a boat in your backyard on a trailer, if you have a car, they try to attach property or stuff like that. I had suggested that if you file a motion with the court, we could at least look at the numbers and see if something would work. Now, Mr. Sims, I don't know what kind of authority you have because, you're an attorney that's standing in for another attorney that's standing in for the attorney that's representing Discover Bank or whatever. And I don't know who the powers that be at Discover Bank. But the idea is a payment plan that would get started so that there's some monies coming in. But in all due respect, Ms. Barnum, They don't want to have to wait forever. They want to have this paid off before I die, you die, or somebody else dies. You know what I mean?
That's coming close.
Yeah. Well, let's hope not.
We've got plenty
Go
of
ahead.
latitude, Your Honor, and
Okay.
I'd be happy to speak to them.
Uh-huh.
I am an attorney here at Buckles and Buckles, handling the
Uh-huh.
hearing, so I'd be happy to give them
So
my
is
direct
the-
line, and we can have a
That'd be
discussion in
good.
regards to all that.
All right. Do you want to put them in a room so the two of them can talk a minute and share their information? I'm asking that you go into a separate room so you can have some confidential discussion about personal information, about telephone number and such, because we're live streaming right now, Ms.
Yes.
Barnum, and I don't want to just have you tell me your number. I don't know your number either, but I don't want that to be broadcasted. So we're going to put you in a separate room. You're going to see something on your screen that says you're invited to a room, or what's it say? You're invited to a breakout room. And then you just click on that. It will take you to a breakout room to talk to Mr. Sims for a
Okay.
minute, 5-10 minutes. And then I'll bring you back to my courtroom Zoom. It'll come back to my courtroom Zoom, and then we'll finish this discussion.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Fair enough.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Ball, can you hear me? You're muted, yeah.
Hi.
Hi. I've been calling your name a couple other times when you didn't hear me, but you are in the wrong Zoom room. You need to go talk to the prosecutor for your pretrial. And if
Okay.
you get a pen, I'll give you the number.
All right.
His name is Felix Tarango, Tarango. Okay, forget that. I said the wrong name. Forget that.
Okay.
Sorry, my bad. It's Nick Christensen. Nick Christensen. He's the prosecutor.
Yes.
And the Zoom number that you want to call is 993-912-3032.
Okay.
Ms. Ball, it's the same password that you used to get in with me, but don't say it because we're live streaming right now, but it's the same number you used to get in with me as the password.
Okay.
Contact Mr. Christensen at that Zoom. You can disconnect with us. We're going to send him an email message that you've been in with us for the last at least half hour, 40 minutes, because I know you've been there. I've been trying to talk to some other people, so I couldn't catch you, but
Yes.
connect with him and you should be set, okay?
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, I can see that, Melody. Is she downstairs? Who's got that one? Is it Sims? Okay. Bring them both in then. Ms. Williams, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you now. Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning. You're the attorney for Capital One?
I am, yes, standing in for the attorney of record this morning.
All right, that's fine. Mr. Cole, can you hear me still?
Yes, I can.
Okay, Ms. Williams, Mr. Cole zoomed in about a half hour ago, and in between cases, I talked to him very briefly about your motion for summary disposition because he said he had to get to work, and I was trying to figure out if he had to wait. We know it wasn't set from 9:15, but he texted in, or I'm sorry, zoomed in early. Mr. Cole had indicated he doesn't dispute that he had owed some money, but he did not believe it was the amount in question. That was the biggest issue that he had. He thought there were late fees that were added and interest rates that were added that he disagreed with. He knows it's a credit card agreement, and I'll let you, Ms. Williams, say anything you want to say about your motion for summary disposition, and then I'll let Mr. Williams say anything further he might want to say, just so that you know what we had briefly talked about, because he was thinking about, heading off to work and not waiting around because he called in early. But I told him I couldn't do it early because it wasn't scheduled till 9:15. Okay, go ahead, Ms. Williams.
Thank you, Your Honor. So just 2 points. The first point is our motion for summary disposition is still entitled to be granted because based on, it sounds like the conversations that Mr. Cole had with the court, he doesn't contest liability. So the only issue that will be left will be damages. And so that's not a proper reason to deny a motion for summary disposition. We still will be entitled to that relief in the court if the court felt damages were in question. A evidentiary hearing could be conducted as to those damages. But I don't think the court needs to go there because we have as our exhibits a detailed statements of how we came up with our balances, and that's included in Exhibit B. And I believe there would be approximately, looks like about 40 pages of documents that have been sent through the course of the defendant's relationship with the plaintiff. So it itemizes every time the balance went up, when the interest was attached to that particular balance, and also the late fees that are associated with it. So it's hard to globally address those concerns he may have, but if he looked at the attachments to our motion, if he had opportunity to do so, I believe that completely details the damages as far as what's owed to my client.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Cole, what do you want to say? What are your thoughts?
Well, I don't quite understand what they mean by 40 pages of documents. I don't know where that came from, but anyways, like I said before, I don't dispute the fact that I owe them some money, but I don't feel that I owe them that much money. And apparently, I'm willing to settle and make payments, but I don't feel I should have to settle for the $4,600. That's my issue.
Okay. What the 40 pages she was talking about is when the case got filed, the plaintiff, Capital One Bank, sent into the court approximately 40 pages that are copies of the Capital One Bank account bills. They're copies of like the bills that were sent to you during the course of the time that you had the Capital One Bank account. They're like actual pages, of the billings, and it's all sent to the 10460 Grange Avenue, Rockford, Michigan. And then like it'll say, well, your transactions were at the Rite Aid store or Party World in Comstock Park, Speedway, Meyer, Speedway, Comstock Park, Sandhill Cafe, Wayland. It's your credit card bills. It's pages and pages. Yeah, that's what she's talking about with the 40 pages. Okay, but the other thing I was going to say was the motion that's before the court, as I tried to explain to Mr. Cole before, the court doesn't get into working out a deal. I'm sorry. Does push in mean lock or?
To the right.
Okay, I think it's open. Sorry, I was trying to open the door. I don't get into talking about you saying you wanted a settlement or see if they can resolve it. This is their motion saying you owe the money. You still have the right to talk with them about, how you're going to pay, or can it be less, or if it's a lump sum, or, work out some agreement. But it doesn't let the court make the decision for you in terms of saying, okay, I'm going to say, if he paid half by next week, can the whole thing be over? We don't get into it like that. But the reality of it is, once the motion for summary disposition is granted, they actually get a judgment against you for that amount. They don't necessarily want to bet against themselves, but they want to get money. They want to be paid. And so the reality is, like I said, you have to think about, do you try to set up a payment plan? Do you try to work out a lump sum payment? But I can't see a way to say, if this was your twin brother, Mr. Cole, and not you, there'd be some substance to the argument that you don't owe this money. But I don't have that. So the motion for summary disposition is granted. And now you need to work with them about trying to figure out, can there be a settlement of a payment? They still can work out that with you. If you're working, they also can try to figure out, well, how much can you pay? Do they have a right to garnish your wages? Do you have a boat in your backyard that they want to try to take your boat? I'm just making stuff up, but that's how debts get paid. Creditors, go after debtors, and they try to get money for stuff to pay it off. But this attorney is Ms. Tiffany Williams, and take the number down so you have it, Mr. Cole. Last name is Williams. She's the attorney that's standing in. She's the attorney that's standing in today, Tiffany Williams. She's from the same law firm that's on your paperwork that you have from Troy, that Daniel Best. And Ms. Williams, can you give me your direct line number?
Yes, it's 248-362-6100.
So, Mr. Cole, the direct line number of the attorney that's here for this case today, Ms. Williams, is 248-362-6100. Did you get it?
Yep, I got it.
So I would just suggest that you continue to work with that and take it from there, okay?
Yeah, I'll give her a call then.
That's good. And the address that Mr. Cole has in Rockford is still good, Ms. Williams, so we're sending notification out. We'll send the notification out to both the attorney and to Mr. Cole about today's motion for summary disposition being granted, okay?
Okay, thank you so much.
Yep, thank you. All right, appreciate it.
Yep, thank you.
Mr. Cole. Thank you for waiting so long, Mr. Cole.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I'll contact her. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. Hold on, you guys.
Bye.
Can you bring that other couple in? Are they done with the 10 minutes? Yeah.
I can hang up now?
Yes, you can. Thank you. Yes, you can. Disconnect.
Thanks. Yeah.
Thanks, Mr. Cole. Okay, Mr. Sims and Ms. Barnum, we were busy with another case, so if I made you wait, I'm sorry.
No,
Oh, no.
Did we interrupt you? Were you still talking, or do you need more time?
no, I think we're okay. I've explained to them kind of where this is headed. I've explained to them kind of what the motion entails that you were talking about. And I've also invited them to contact me directly to have that conversation. I think we're on the same page in terms of what we can do short of everything else. So.
Ms. Barnum, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so you know that the motion for summary disposition is granted, and that means the judgment will be entered against you. You'll get paperwork at your address on Short Street, and you can still continue your communications with the attorney's office so that you can try to set up a payment plan that's going to be feasible or workable or manageable for you. And if it doesn't work that way, you can file a motion with the court. So that's an option that you have to talk to the court directly as it relates to what payment plan might be feasible.
Okay.
I do not mean to be condescending in any way, because I'm sure you have a lot more life's experiences than many people, but you and your husband cannot allow yourself to get pulled into a scheme that creates you this kind of anxiety, difficulty, and financial distress. So if you learn from it, that's all we can ask. That's all we can ask of any of us, right? It doesn't matter whether you're 70 or whether you're 17. If we can learn from, I'll just say, poor decision-making, we can better ourselves and it doesn't repeat. And you can tell others who could have very easily fallen into exactly what you fell into. Are you with me?
Yes, I am.
So you tell your kids the story so they don't have it happen to them. All right, thanks for your courtesy. I appreciate you both zooming in today. I wasn't intending to be problematic by not letting your husband speak. It wasn't that I didn't want to, it's that I was trying to follow the rules.
That's fine. I understand.
Okay, thank you, and you did capably yourself. Thank you, Mr. Sims, for zooming in.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Appreciate your courtesy.
Yes,
You can
thank you.
do that order unless we already have it, Mr. Sims, but we'll take it from there.
All right.
Okay,
Thank
thanks.
you very much.
Okay, Ms. Dawson and Ms. Stultz, is that Ms. Stultz in the bluish shirt?
No, that's Ms. DeGroot. She's the code
Oh,
enforcement officer
sorry.
for Peter Spring.
Okay, give me a minute. I'll be right with you here.
Sure.
Melody
Take it.
Vanderhyde, you can come up to the podium. We're on the record on file D1804473FY, and it is Melody Vanderhyde. You can turn us off that. We've just recently opened our doors to the public, so this is new for us to have people physically in the building. You missed a probation violation hearing yesterday. Mr. Abuxia is your attorney of record. He was from the beginning. I know he made an appearance yesterday. We were trying to figure out what was going on with you not being here, but it was just a missed appointment. Did you just miss it altogether?
Yeah, I thought it was the 29th.
I see. So you actually thought it was today. Okay, when did you post that bond? $1,174?
When?
Yeah. Like when were you taken into custody?
A month ago.
A month ago? Yeah. So the case itself was a case that you had with a drug charge and you had a violation of your probation. Ms. DeWinter is here. You pled guilty to use of methamphetamine and you pled guilty to possession of marijuana. And you had some stuff out of Florida or something? What was Florida?
Yeah,
You live there?
I used to.
Used to, but now you're up here?
Yeah.
Okay. So it was a formal probation violation that we were trying to have scheduled. And with everything, are you just real nervous right now?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Just try to relax.
Okay.
You're not going to jail.
Okay.
I'm not going to lock you up right now. I just need you to understand what's happening.
Right.
And I get that there can be mix-ups on a date, and I'm glad that you're physically here today. Okay, so you showed up. That shows me that you take this seriously. At the time that we talked about the probation violation, I appointed you an attorney, and that's how Maulud Abuxia got involved. And I don't want to really continue without him here. So what we're going to do is just reschedule a time. You still can talk to him. It's a probation violation is either pass or fail. You either passed your probation or you failed it, whether it's a little or a lot, whether you missed appointments to go test, whether you didn't pay fines, whether you didn't do your community service, whether you didn't show up for a class. It doesn't matter what it was. The question becomes, did you pass probation or did you fail? And I mean, technically it's that basic. Did you pass or did you fail? And right now, you know the answer to that. I don't know the details, but you know the answer. Talk to Mr. Abuxia, be forthright and honest about it, and then we'll set up a date for you to answer that question. Did you pass or did you fail? And then we'll deal with it. Do you understand? I'm not going to do the bench warrant, and I'm not going to forfeit the bond that you posted, because the other day we didn't know if you'd show up, so I did. So Angela, I don't want to forfeit the bond. I don't want to do a cash bench warrant. I want to call the bench warrant. I just want a date so she can talk to Mr. Abuxia. Is he here today?
Yeah,
I doubt it. It's a Tuesday. I doubt it. So let's just get a date, and then downstairs they'll tell you when you have to be back, okay? So we'll deal with it. But you don't want to forget about it.
No.
Okay, that's it. Thanks a lot. Okay, thanks. Okay, back on the Zoom, Ms. Dawson and Ms. DeGroot, thanks for giving me a minute to talk to a person that walked in and we had to deal with that case unannounced and unplanned. Are the Stults part of this Zoom today?
I am unsure, Your Honor. It looks like
Is
they're-
that Timothy on the Galaxy?
It might be.
Ms. DeGroot, do you know what he looks like?
No, not really. I've seen him once.
Okay, so let me see if we can get some audio with this person. Sir with the beard on, the balding head and the beard, not balding, but receding hairline. Can you hear me? Looks like he's kind of frozen on that screen. Do we have a telephone number for the Stults?
I do not, Your Honor.
I do not either.
Okay, hold on a second. Ms. DeGroot, what's the status of the property right now? Is there compliance now?
There is.
And do you know approximately when that compliance occurred?
9/8 of 2020.
Okay. So whatever the tarp is, whatever that structure is, it's gone or it's corrected or
Yes.
it's in full compliance?
It is in full compliance.
Okay.
Your Honor, if I may point out, Ms. DeGroot first communicated the violation to the defendants in April of 2019, and it was only recently that she felt it was necessary to cite them, and then after that is when they actually complied. So there was
Sure.
over a year where
Right.
they did not seek compliance.
And August 10th was the date of the ticket. And
Correct.
September 8, if I'm remembering what you said, Ms. DeGroot, was the date of compliance when you checked, in other words.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anybody else in the room? Is he trying to reconnect?
He's just blacked out. There's no audio. I have no control over it.
I'm here.
Is that Timothy Stults?
Yes,
Is that Betty?
I was having problems. Yep.
Well, it sounds like a woman talking, so I'm thinking it's Betty, but I can't tell because it's bad audio.
It's Timothy.
Okay,
Gone.
you're coming in and out, so I'm not getting full audio, and it's hard to hear what you're saying.
Sorry.
No, don't be sorry. Is there a telephone number that we can contact you by?
I'm using phone in my.
Mr. Stults?
Yes. Sorry, it just cut out on me and went out.
Right. Do you have a telephone number I can call you on?
Yes. It's 616
Uh-huh.
24. Just a second. Two 2400.
If I get you on phone, then you can just disconnect with the Zoom.
You have reached the voicemail box of 6125.
Okay, Mr. Stoltz, can you hear me still? See if he's gonna hook back up again. That just went into voicemail, of course, so I didn't leave a message, but I wasn't 100% I got the right number when he was talking to us.
I was able to take down 616-255-2400.
Yeah, that's the number I called,
Okay.
and it went into a voicemail. I'll try it one more time.
You have reached the voicemail box of 616-255-2400. At the tone, please record your voice message. When you are finished recording, you may hang up or press pound for more options.
This is Judge Sara Smolenski from the 63rd District Court trying to get a hold of Betty or Timothy Stoltz. Mr. Stoltz, we heard you on Zoom and we tried to call this number that you gave me, but I'm not 100% positive.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was the number. I just couldn't get to the phone to answer it.
Okay, now I don't know if staying on Zoom is the best thing. I can hear you right now, but it seems like you go in and out.
Yeah, you do too. So.
Okay, well, so can I call that number and you pick it up?
Yes. Let me.
All right, I'm calling it right now. I'm calling it right now, Mr. Stoltz, so pick it up. This is like a Saturday Night Live skit.
Voicemail box of 1.
Okay, hold on a second, you guys. We'll see if we can get him again. Mr. Stoltz, when you hear me, let me know.
Okay, sorry about that.
All right, so this is Mr. Timothy Stoltz, correct?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and there was a lot of confusion about us hooking up, but I wanted to make sure that we got a solid connection. And that's why I've preferred to have you on the speakerphone at the court, okay?
Okay.
Now, Mr. Stoltz, you were trying to tell me, but it was sporadic with the connection, whether Betty is around.
Betty is gone. She passed away in 2012.
I'm so sorry, I did not realize that. I'm also guessing that the township official did not realize she was passed away when she wrote her name on the ticket.
Actually, for some reason, we went down and put my name on the title.
Yep.
And then when she passed, I went down with her death certificate.
Was Betty your mom?
Yes.
Yeah, it was your mom. Okay.
And I gave them a copy of it.
Oh.
Down in Kent County.
Right.
And they said that they was not going to take her off the title.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know either. Was that at the county register of deeds?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're talking about the ticket you got for having that tarp structure on your property.
Yes.
without a permit? And Ms. DeGroot is here, who's the township representative, saying that you now have made full compliance, that
Yes.
the properties, that the tarp structure has been taken down and the township doesn't have any problem with that now that you've fixed it. But
Okay.
the ticket from August 10th, which they're really saying goes back to like April when they told you about it, that the tenant structure had been there a long time when they told you about it, but then they finally wrote you a ticket in August, and then you took care of it in September, just a couple of weeks ago. Now, the ticket in our court is a zoning violation that you can either admit to or deny. If you admit it, then we talk about it a little bit, and I can tell you what the penalty is. If you deny it, we have a hearing where they try to show that you had a tarped structure on your property that was against the rules of the zoning violation, and that you didn't have a permit for it. So that's why they made you take it down. Can you think of any questions you have yourself, Mr. Stoltz?
No, actually, no, because I put it up 4 years ago, so.
4 years?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you had it up a long time and never really thought too much of it until at some point maybe somebody complained, and the next thing you know, the township was telling you you had to take it down.
Yeah.
So when the township,
I was trying to get it down.
Yeah.
I got the letter.
Yeah.
And so forth. And I'm working, and my hours are kind of screwed up and so forth.
What kind of job do you have?
I work in a gas station.
Yep, okay. So are you the only one on that East Ash Street?
Yes.
Was that your mom's house, your mom and dad?
Yes.
Yeah.
They bought it in 1963.
Yep. And then you're the only one that lives there now?
Right.
Okay. Well, you don't dispute that you finally learned, I mean, the whole time it was up for 4 years, did you know it was a violation the whole time?
No.
So when you learned it was a violation, then you slowly started taking measures to take care of it, correct?
Right.
Yeah. What was it for? Like, did you keep lawnmowers in it, or what was it for?
I have a truck that I put over. I was going to get rid of the truck.
Oh.
I haven't done it yet.
So it was kind of like a makeshift garage.
Right.
I see.
And then I was going to, after I got done with my truck, got rid of it, I was going to park my car underneath it.
I get you.
But they told me I couldn't have
Right.
it.
So like, what's the structure made of? Is it like wood and then the tarp's over that?
No, it's just a tarp.
Just tarp?
Yeah, it's a carport.
Oh, it's a carport. I got you. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, what we're scheduled for today is to understand whether you admit, learning about it later, that you admit it was a violation and that's why you took it down, or that you deny it and you want a hearing. Do you have a question about that?
No, I don't.
Do you admit, now learning about what the rules are, that it was a violation for you to have that there?
Yes.
And that's why you took it down?
Yes.
And right now, you're thinking everything's good, there's no other problems on your property, correct?
No, they probably will find some somewhere.
Well, yeah, that's true. They probably could find it on everybody's, anywhere, but they're not talking to you about any other issues.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Ms. Dawson, if Mr. Stoltz is admitting responsibility for that, and your township official, Ms. DeGroot, indicates that he's in full compliance right now, the only issue would be what the penalty would be, correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
Do you have any other comments or anything you want to say, Ms. Dawson? That's the attorney for the township that's speaking now, Mr. Stoltz.
Yeah.
Go ahead and speak up, Ms. Dawson.
Thank you, Your Honor. As I pointed out earlier, I want to make it clear that the township, or the city actually, had notified the defendants in April of this tarp structure. It was only recently taken down in September. Why it was allowed to stay up prior to April, I believe that April of 2019 is when Ms. DeGroot started in her position. I'll let her answer that. Is that correct, Ms. DeGroot?
I started here in September of 2018.
Okay.
So a couple of years ago.
Right.
Yeah. But why this defendant was not cited prior to that is unbeknownst to Ms. DeGroot. However, at this time, as you're aware, pursuant to MCL, let me find the correct 600.8727, the city can request up to $500 for the cost of prosecution, along with fines and court costs, and that's what we'd like to request today.
And what amount of that is supposed to be representative of township fees? Is part of that supposed to be township fees?
Township fees are $65. That's the fines. And then the cost of the up to $500 would be the cost of prosecution. So that would cover Ms. DeGroot's time going to the property, driving by, taking photos, which I have several photos that she did take and send to me, writing the letter, following up, and then our time here today.
Ms. DeGroot, if I could ask you, what originates the complaint? Is it just a neighbor or somebody, or is it routine checks?
It can be one or the other. In this case, someone complained.
Yeah. Because it is, he's being forthright. Mr. Stultz is being forthright about the fact that it had been there for 4 years.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mr. Stultz, is there anything you can think of that you want to say before I tell you what the penalty is going to be?
No.
And your job is full-time at the gas station?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Dawson, were you specifically requesting any attorney fees in that? Or was that part of what you were talking about with the association township costs?
That would be included, the attorney's fees would be included in that cost of prosecution.
Well, the up to 500 is within the discretion of the court. You don't dispute that, do you?
Correct.
Okay, Mr. Stultz, I'm not sure any of this is going to make sense to you in the fact that you had that structure for a long time. I do want to tell you that I appreciate that you finally complied. Not that the whole 4 years you knew it was illegal. And I don't know if it was more of an eyesore than anything else, but there's a billion rules that the townships have about what you can and can't do on all of our properties, whether you live in a rural area or whether you live in a city. They really just kind of want to make sure that people don't go too wild with everything that's not permitted. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm not looking to cause problems for you. I'm really not. I appreciate the fact, well, neither is Ms. DeGroot. She's not trying to cause problems for you. She's just trying to do her job, which I respect that as well. And I do get that once you got the ticket August 10th, you got it down within a month, approximately a month of getting the ticket. Of course, they had talked to you about it way back at the beginning, and we've just been going through, in our world, the weirdest time of our lives with this pandemic, and I'm sure it's caused a lot of difficulty with everybody, and everything's getting delayed, and it's caused a problem, there's no doubt, with every aspect of our lives. But I accept the fact that you've admitted responsibility, ultimately, that you had to take that tarped structure down, and I appreciate that you have taken it down. I'm going to assess a $200 fine/costs that I'm going to say go directly to the township. I'm waiving any fines that the court would get and just having the $200 cover everything involved, whether it does or not. It's just, I don't want to make it $500. I want to make it $200. So it can go up to $500. That's not my point. I just want to have it be so that They get reimbursed for some of their costs because they did have costs, and that's taxpayers, which is all of us. So that's a $200 payment that you make to the township, and that ends this case. Any fees to the court are waived. Okay, so I'll ask you to pay that to the township within the next 3 weeks. Is that fair?
Yes.
Okay. Ms. Dawson, can you think of any other questions you have?
No, Your Honor. Would you like me to prepare and submit an order under the 7-day
Yes.
rule? Okay.
Yep. And I think it should be noted that he did admit responsibility to the violation, and that the $200 costs are meant to be to the township only, with
Okay.
any fines to the court to be waived.
Okay.
Do you understand all of that, Mr. Stultz?
Yes, I do.
Ms. DeGroot, do you have any thoughts or questions that you have?
No, I don't.
Appreciate your courtesy and your involvement in this. Ms. Dawson, anything else?
Will that be the payment? Will that be due 3 weeks from the date of
3 weeks,
the
3
order?
weeks from today,
From
3
today.
weeks from today to the township, and put the township address in there so he can make it available to them. You'll get a copy of this order, Mr. Stultz. It'll be mailed to you at your house.
Okay.
It'll have the information of where to send the check, okay?
Yep.
All right, thanks very much for being available. I know you worked hard to be on the Zoom, and we watched you for quite a while, but then I appreciate you giving me your number so I could get you on the phone and talk without being interrupted by the technology. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, bye-bye. Okay, that's it, Ms. Dawson. You don't have the one this afternoon, do you?
I do. Are you, I'm sorry, I never received a notice for,
Is that the Northland?
yes,
Is that with Attorney Ropp, ROP?
yes.
Okay. I'd like you to try to contact him ahead of time, the attorney, if you could. I have a Zoom that I have to speak at 3:50. It's a funny time, 10 to 4.
Yeah.
But I only do an introduction